Howdy folks, back at Shepherd's Park. Remember, a couple months ago I was saying, I was pointing at a walkway right here, saying that around October it'd be covered in water. And here we are, October, I think the 3rd, and it's covered in water even down here. Let's see if I can. Whole park swamped. It's that king tide, high tide time of year. Watch this because your boat floats up on top of the seawall, and then when the tide goes out, so halfway on and halfway off, it can end up being flipped or dumped. Or if you leave your motor down, a lot of people leave the motor down because having it up makes it more likely to hit some other boat or the seawall. In this case, not so much. Wow. The whole entire park is a big water slide. Oh, what in the world? There's a pole knocked over there. The ground got soft or something. There wasn't really any high wind, so it must just be the ground softening, let the pole base loose. This is some salvage someone brought in a few weeks ago and tied off there. Nobody's claimed it. It's not good. It's pretty bad shape. Getting worse. Anyway, trying to get a hold of owner of this boat that I just did the fuel injectors on this, and it looks like today maybe a little rain at 10. It's like 8 something now. You might get a little rain around 10. I think it's about the only day all week that we'll have a chance for her to go out with me and test drive this thing to see that it's working right. This reminds me of when I was in Hollywood, Florida, kayaking up to the corner store. And I got to the dock and just kept kayaking right into the parking lot and right up to the edge of the highway. So I had a video on Facebook for years of a buddy of mine that pulled up on his bike on the sidewalk between me and the highway. And I was right next to it in the parking lot of the store, in my kayak, still paddling, still floating. Sat there and had a conversation in the parking lot. These posts here will conveniently keep this boat from floating up onto the shore. Hey, I survived the Hurricane Imelda. It wasn't bad actually with the cove I went in. It's pretty well protected. I don't think the winds in there got over 20 miles an hour. kind of dodged the bullet again. Oh, crazy. Pepe, want to see my face? Man, I don't want to break your camera. There, my ugly mug. Okay, don't say I didn't warn you. Okay. Well, still waiting on her reply. She might be at work. Probably at work. So, I guess I'll just go grab a couple things at the store. Run another test ride myself. I've already been across the river and back 2 times. So this will be my 3rd time across the river and back, and it hasn't glitched or sputtered or anything. So far so good. I mean, ultimately, she's got to go ahead and pay me. I have a video online showing me test driving it for quite a while with no glitches. So, yeah, it's just a rain. It's just all week. Today's been the only day where there's any boating weather at all. Might even get a little rain today. I told her it might be the only day of clear weather enough to go out and test drive, but I think if I remember right, she had to work today. I don't know how her schedule goes, but anyhow, I'll turn this around and give you a little tour of the city. Since I'm here, I did a little tour of this park, of that area when I first came here. They got crew teams that come out, these big rowing canoes, just like a little rowing club, or I guess they call it paddling. Liked and subbed. Ah, thank you, Pepe. I can use all the subscribers I can get. I've been doing this for a while. Been sailing around Florida for decades in, bigger sailboats. And now I'm doing it in this homemade canoe. I never really documented it until after COVID, when I built the what did I call that? I took that canoe and rigged it with 2x4s and some water jugs, and called it the Water Skipper. I sailed that thing over 200 miles. And that was the first time I ever documented any adventures I went on. I mean, before I sailed, when I was younger and between years sailing, you know, I hiked all over this country, backpacked from coast to coast a few times, north and south too. So I think I've camped in most of the national forests in North America, and in the continental U.S. anyway, rather. He thinks his bike sounds awesome with no baffles, but yeah, all that noise and not really going very fast. It's not impressed. I'm not impressed. There was a lot of backfiring going on too. So guess I'll wander in here, grab some breakfast, and head back across to my spot. Couldn't hurt to get a few supplies while I'm here. Urgent care. So this is my routine. Boat doesn't fit a car on it, and bikes tend to rust pretty fast. So I walk. I motor the boat to the closest place I can get to, where I can get supplies, food, gas, and I walk. One of the costs of not being rich and sail cruising is you really kind of got to choose between, you know, ideally you want to get work that you can make money online or on the water at a marina or somewhere where you don't have to leave the water, and hopefully in an area where there's a grocery store right near the water. And I'm not really big on buying marina gas either, so I like to buy gas on land, and yes, I end up getting some with alcohol in it, but my motor can handle it, and I know how to clean out fuel systems. I know how to rebuild little carburetors, and you can see by my videos now I know how to clear out a set of injectors. So it just, me being a mechanic, I'd rather do that once in a while than pay the extra several dollars for some gas from the marina. So yeah, I use regular road gas. And if you're somebody that does that a lot and buys gas in quantity and doesn't burn it up very fast, you're going to end up with a lot of water in your gasoline. It's because alcohol attracts moisture to itself, and you know, if your tank's not perfectly sealed or the system's not perfectly sealed, it's gonna, any evaporation will condensate. During temperature changes, you get condensation build up on the inside of your tank, and quite a bit pretty quickly. I recommend people that use alcohol gas would, even if you don't, just to install a water separator in your fuel line. And they make a lot of different sizes and styles. And I always tell people, spend the extra money to get the one with a clear glass lens at the bottom and a little valve on it. They make these ones that are just like, they look like a fuel filter. They're just all metal, and they separate water from the fuel before it goes back into your engine. The problem is you're getting buildup of water in there, and you have to shut the motor down and spill some gas and vapor lock the system. Basically, you have to pull that canister off and pour it out into a container or whatever. Most people end up pouring it out right into the water, and you don't really know whether it's filling up with water or not. You can't just look back and visually inspect. You have to remove it from the system to inspect it and pour it out. And that doesn't really help, because you don't think about it, you forget about it, and before long that water's in your engine too, because your water separator ends up being just full of water. Okay, now if you got the one with the clear lens and it's got a little valve at the bottom and a separator canister between, they cost quite a bit more, but there's a reason for it. You can take a little cup and stick it underneath and open the valve and watch the water drain out, and close the valve, and you don't even get a cup full of gas. You don't waste any gas. You don't have to even shut the motor off to do it. You can do it while you're running. Probably not while you're underway. It's probably not the best idea, because the fuel and water get sloshed together. You want to let it settle. The water will settle to the bottom and you can drain it right out. But the great thing about it is you get in your boat and you just turn around and look, and there it is, and you can see this. If there's any separation, you can see it. You can see how much. It's just a little bit at the bottom, you don't bother with it. If it's starting to make a little buildup and climbing toward the top, you need to get rid of it. But you can just take a glance and know whether there's any water in the system and remove it without breaking into the system and having to prime the fuel or any of that stuff. So there, we're getting close to the Publix, and hey, while I'm here, I like to go to this convenience store first. I buy anything in here. This is where I usually go to get my gas, and they have a free coffee in there when I get something, so I like to go there in the morning, grab the basic stuff there and what I don't get at Publix, and then I go do my grocery shopping. I start with a cup of coffee I don't even have to pay for or brew, and that is a nice thing. Okay, so I just got a message. The Alana is at work until 4, so that's out. She's not getting her test drive today, and at this rate she might not get it at all. I mean, until I'm already out of town. I hate doing that, because if anything, that's another thing. I can't really, if I'm in an area staying there, I can guarantee my work. If something goes wrong, I fix it free of charge. If it's my work, if it's something I did wrong, I'll fix it free of charge, because that's just the right thing to do. But I sail out of town before they even get a chance to do a test run, and they just have to trust me, and there's really not much they could do if there's further work needed or something I did that wasn't right. I don't run into that a lot anymore these days. Every once in a while. I'm not perfect, But I give everybody a price that, and I mean, I give them the quality, and also the price that's, just people running an overhead can't compete with that price because they have to pay an overhead. They got to keep up a shop and have employees, and there's a lot more they have to spend on. I can do a side job and charge a lot less, but then the customer has to deal with, well, if I need something, they got to run me into town to go get it. Things like that. And they can't just drop it off at my shop and walk away from it till it's done. They have to trust me with it out there on the water or on a boat or somewhere on shore where they bring me to it. So, I'm still not really competing with them on the level they're competing on. So, and I don't stick around too long in one area. I'm generally helping people that can't afford their help. So, morning. This is the store that I go to just pretty much every time I go into town. They're really nice people, and got a pretty decent lineup of drinks, beers, some snacks. Yeah, why not give them a little free advertising? They got a little fishing section here. Check this out. And then the fresheners, some deli here. It ain't Starbucks, but it's good coffee. And you got your automotive and your medicines and all this. Cool big smoke section in the glass. You got a lot of glass work. Oh, you're beautiful. I'm giving my viewers a tour of your store. Told them about the free coffee. And with that, you guys have a great day, and I will see you on the next time.